I knew it was a bad idea. The moon hung like a pallet sickle over Blackwood Manor, its jagged turrets clawing at the sky. Decades of rot had warped the Victorian mansion's once grand facade, leaving skeletal vines to choke its walls. The forest surrounding it held its breath, as if the trees themselves feared what lurked within. Alex's flashlight trembled in his grip, casting erratic shadows across the porch. The wood groaned beneath his boots like a wounded animal. $50, he reminded himself. Just survive till dawn. The stories echoed in his mind, children's whispers of a woman who never left, of walls that bled, of a curse that clung to the Blackwood bloodline. His friend's laughter in the diner earlier that night felt galaxies away now. Logan's smug grin as he slapped the $50 bill on the table. Isabella's teasing better pack diapers as she waved her ridiculous ghost hunting manual. They'd called it a joke, a dare for clout. But the moment Alex crossed the threshold, the air thickened with the stench of decay and something sharper, metallic. Blood? His flashlight flickered. Not now. He smacked it, and the beam died completely, plunging him into darkness. A crow's shriek split the silence, followed by a sound that froze his veins, a child's laugh, high and hollow, echoing down the hallway. Logan? Alex hissed, fumbling for spare batteries. This isn't funny. His voice bounced off the mold-stained walls. A door slammed upstairs, a gunshot crack, and his camera jerked toward the sound, capturing nothing but swirling dust. His phone buzzed. Isabella's Netflix selfie lit up the screen. You alive? Ghost, he cursed, thumbing a reply. Not cool. You hear? 3 dots pulsed, then stopped. The screen went black. Something scraped against the floorboards above. Alex's pride warred with primal instinct. Leave. Now. But the money, his rent was due, and Logan's smirk if he failed. He forced himself forward, the camera capturing his shallow breaths. The hallway narrowed, walls papered in yellowed newsprint. A headline flashed in his light, Gruesome Murder at Blackwood Manor, 1953. The article detailed Margaret Blackwood's death, throat slashed, eyes gouged, no suspects. A photo showed her portrait, elegant but for the vandalized eyes. As Alex leaned closer, the pupils in the image darted sideways. He recoiled, knocking over a vase. It shattered like a scream. In the silence that followed, a new sound emerged, a wet, rhythmic drip. The camera panned downward. Crimson droplets pooled at his feet, trailing up the staircase. His breath hitched. It's paint. Or rust. Not blood. But the coppery tang filled his nostrils. The second-floor hallway stretched endlessly, doors ajar like hungry mouths. Behind one, a nursery's music box tinkled Rockabye Baby. Alex pushed it open. A doll sat propped on a crib, porcelain face cracked, head twisted 180 degrees. Its glass eyes followed him. Nope, he muttered, backing away, and tripped over a loose floorboard. Beneath it lay a leather journal, its pages brittle. Margaret's handwriting sprawled in frantic loops. He promised me power, but the price, oh God, the screams won't stop. It's in the walls. It's coming. A photo slipped out, Margaret, grinning beside a symbol etched in ash. The same symbol now glowed faintly on the nursery wall. A floorboard creaked behind him. Alex spun, camera capturing a shadow, tall, jagged, wrong, before the lens blurred. The growl that followed vibrated in his bones, guttural, inhuman. He ran, stairs collapsing under his weight, and crashed into a basement door. Rusted hinges screamed as it gave way. The beam of his flashlight pierced the gloom, landing on a doll identical to the nursery's, except this one held a knife. A low growl rippled through the darkness. The camera's battery died. In the black silence, something whispered, "You shouldn't have come." The screen of Alex's phone pulsed like a dying heartbeat. One moment, the time read 1:13 a.m., the next, the digits twisted impossibly, 3 hours 66 minutes a.m. His breath fogged the cracked glass, and for a heartbeat, he stared at his own reflection, pale and wide-eyed. Then he saw it. A shadow loomed behind him, elongated and jagged, its edges fraying like smoke. He whirled around, camera swinging wildly, but the hallway yawned empty. The house exhaled, a low, wet rattle in the walls. "Logan, I'm done," Alex shouted, voice splintering. "I'm leaving." The front door slammed with the force of a gunshot. He lunged for it, shoulders slamming into rotted wood, but the handle wouldn't budge. Windows rattled, curtains tearing themselves shut as iron bars materialized across the glass. The camera captured it all, the peeling wallpaper bubbling like blistered skin, the floorboards groaning as they warped into a prison. "Let me out." Alex's fists bruised against the door. Behind him, the air hissed. "You wanted proof?" The voice was a chorus, Margaret's icy rasp layered with a child's giggle and the gurgle of a drowning man. Alex spun as the hallway lights flared, bulbs exploding in showers of sparks. In the strobe-like flashes, she appeared, Margaret Blackwood, her face a ruin of slashed flesh, eye sockets gaping voids. Her image burned into the camera's feed, flickering faster, closer. Then darkness. Alex stumbled backward, tripping over his own breath. The flashlight's beam jetted up the staircase, illuminating a closet door creaking open on the landing. Something glinted inside. He climbed, each step sagging beneath him, drawn by a morbid pull. The closet smelled of rust and spoiled milk. A noose dangled from the rafters, its fibers still damp. Below it, a fresh bloodstain bloomed across the floorboards, glossy and arterial. His phone buzzed. "Logan, stop faking. You're bad at this." A laugh burst from Alex's throat, hysterical, unhinged. "Faking? Look." He angled the camera at the noose, the blood. "You seeing this?" Static crackled in reply. The screen dimmed, reflecting his face again, and the shadow behind him, closer now. Taller. Its head tilted, neck snapping at a sickening angle. Alex bolted, crashing into a bedroom. The door locked itself. Thud. Something scraped against the other side. Thud. He backed toward a moth-eaten bed, camera trained on the door. The growl reverberated through the room, deeper than sound, a vibration in the teeth. The knob rattled. Thud. 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 Wood splintered. Alex's scream tangled with the cacophony as the door exploded inward. The camera toppled, lens cracking. Footage skewed sideways, capturing flashes, a shadow pooling across the floor, claws glinting like bone, and Alex's legs kicking as he scrambled onto the bed. "Logan. Isabella," he wailed. "If you're watching, help me." Silence. Then a whisper, lips brushing his ear, "They can't hear you." The feed cut to black. When it flickered back, Alex stood in the hallway, eyes vacant, phone in hand. He aimed the camera at his own face, mouth stretched into a grin too wide, too wrong. "I'm not fake," he gargled, blood threading his teeth. The screen died. Final text notification, "Logan, bro, you win. Chill. Where's the video?" No reply. At 6:03 a.m., the front door creaked open. Dawn light bled across the porch, illuminating a single $50 bill fluttering in the wind. The escape. Dawn clawed its way over Blackwood Manor, staining the sky the color of a fresh bruise. Alex staggered out of the house, his sneakers crunching on dead leaves. His skin was corpse pale, eyes bloodshot and darting. The forest air should have tasted clean, but it clung to his tongue, thick, spoiled, like rot steaming off a summer road. He fumbled for his phone, fingers leaving smears of grime on the screen. "Alex, I'm out. Never again." The reply was instant. "Logan, dude, you lasted 10 minutes. Check your timestamps." Alex's breath hitched. 10 minutes? His bones still ached with the weight of hours, hours of sprinting through hallways, of doors slamming, of her whispers. He scrolled through his gallery. The first video, timestamped 12:10 a.m., showed him sitting cross-legged in the foyer, flashlight aimed at his face. His eyes were glazed, vacant, like a sleepwalker. "No," he muttered. No, I was moving. I was." Behind him in the video, a pale hand slid into frame, skeletal fingers curling over his shoulder. Alex dropped the phone. The revelation. He scooped it up, trembling, and tapped the next clip. 12:20 a.m. Same angle. Same frozen posture. But now the hand crept higher, nails grazing his collarbone. In the third video, 12:30 a.m., the fingers splayed across his chest, a wedding band glinting on its ring finger, Margaret's ring. "Delete them," Alex whispered. "Delete all of them." But the videos kept playing. 12:40 a.m., the hand cupped his jaw, forcing his head sideways. His reflection in the camera lens showed eyes wide with terror, but in reality, he sat motionless, drool dripping down his chin. 12:50 a.m., a second hand emerged, pressing an old straight razor into his palm. 1 a.m., the hands guided his limp arm upward, blade hovering near his throat. Alex gagged, scrambling backward until his spine hit a tree. The phone slipped from his grip again, screen still glowing. The final video autoplayed, 1:10 a.m. His own hand, puppet-like, sawed the razor across his neck. No blood. No scream. Just a marionette smile stretching his lips as the hands clapped in applause, their owner still unseen. The unraveling. He vomited into the dirt, acid burning his throat. When he wiped his mouth, his sleeve came away streaked with black sludge. Not possible. Not real. But his neck throbbed where the razor had hovered. He unzipped his hoodie, yanked his t-shirt collar down, and angled the camera's front lens like a mirror. 2 faint red lines crossed his jugular. A twig snapped in the woods. Alex lurched to his feet, sprinting toward the road. Branches lashed his face, but he didn't slow until his lungs burned and the manor was a speck behind him. He didn't stop until he collapsed on his apartment's doorstep, key stabbing at the lock. Safe. Alive. But the air inside tasted wrong, copper and lavender, Margaret's signature perfume. The haunting. For days, Alex barely slept. He deleted the videos, but they reappeared each morning, timestamps crawling later, 1:20 a.m., 1:30 a.m. Shadows deepened in his peripheral vision. His reflection sometimes lagged a half-second behind. When he showered, the steam etched stay on the mirror. Logan texted nonstop. "Logan, bro, you win. Chill. Where's the video?" "Logan, seriously, this isn't funny anymore." "Logan, Isabella's freaking out. Call us." Alex never replied. On the third night, he jolted awake at 3 hours 66 minutes a.m., the impossible time seared into his phone. The room was ice cold. His breath fogged. And there, in the dark, he felt it, the weight of a hand on his shoulder. "Leave me alone," he screamed, thrashing. The bedside lamp flickered on. Empty room. But his phone buzzed. A new video, sent from his own number. 3 hours 66 minutes a.m. In it, he lay asleep in bed. The camera panned to the corner, where Margaret materialized, not a shadow, not a specter, but flesh and bone. Her throat gaped, lips sewn shut with black thread. She knelt beside him, unspooling a noose from her dress pocket. Alex's sleeping body sat up, eyes milky. Together, they began to braid the rope. The final frame. At dawn, Alex stood before his bathroom mirror, razor trembling in his hand. The reflection showed Margaret behind him, pristine in her 1953 gown, stitches gone, smile radiant. She pressed a finger to her lips. "Alex, what do you want?" She leaned forward, her breath frosting the glass. "New stories need new voices," she whispered, her voice silk and rust. "Yours will do, for now." The razor slashed. The legend grows. 1 week later, Logan and Isabella stood at Blackwood Manor's gates, GoPros strapped to their chests. "Logan, Alex's disappearance is bullshit." Dude's hiding. Isabella, then why's his phone pinging here? They stepped inside. The door slammed. Logan's phone buzzed, a video notification from Alex's account. 12:10 a.m. The footage showed Logan and Isabella sitting motionless in the foyer, eyes vacant. Behind them, Alex's pale hands reached over their shoulders, wedding band glinting.